Now, as far as Iran, a couple things. First off, it's time dependent as far as people's support for military action. Not everything needs to be compared to Iraq because it's very often the least legitimate comparison. But I will stake my claim right here, 3 months. So a lot of people ask, where are we now? Bad. It's been bad.
Yes. Extricate yourself.
If you were to demand a verdict right now, okay, not a success. Let's go to Iran. And I think this is important because everyone was voicing an opinion when it started that President Trump was betraying people. I think this is very predictable from President Trump. If you look at him all the way back to the 80s, that he clearly did not like Iran. He even said that he was willing to wipe them off the face of the map. All right. Then you had people saying this is going to be a forever war. People saying there's no reason whatsoever Iran is not a threat. Of course, I don't agree with that premise. But we did say, well, you know what? This is going to be timeline based. And we have now seen that timeline play out, and it's not very good. But first, this guy, Trey Yingst, reported that Trump is in no hurry, so we'll take his word for it, to end the Iran issue right now.
The president told Fox News Iran should raise the white flag of surrender. He went on to say, I have no time schedule. I'm not in a hurry. The president indicating that the U.S. naval blockade is continuing to put new economic pressure on the Iranian regime, despite what the Iranians have said publicly. He said they're good poker players, but they're dying, and that the midterms in the United States have nothing to do with the president's thinking.
Well, they should have something to do with the president's thinking because that'll affect what he's able to do or what anyone is able to do in Iran, period. And that'll determine the direction of our country. And he's losing the capital that he had after the success in Venezuela, after the success that he had with the first Iran strikes. That's all but gone now. And he's risking driving people into the arms of a radical party like the DSA. We see that coming from people on the right now. Everyone is the same just because of Iran. They're not the same on all the other issues. Now, I want you to remember my stance on the war early on was it would need to be wrapped up in approximately 3 months. Otherwise, it would be unpopular, and it very likely would be a mistake. And that brings us to a segment called, Hey, Hold Us to It. Fact check. There you go. Fact check me. Now, as far as Iran, a couple things. First off, it's time dependent as far as people's support for military action. Not everything needs to be compared to Iraq because it's very often the least legitimate comparison. But I will stake my claim right here, 3 months. Even though that shouldn't be the required timeline, it is as far as public support as we go into midterms, 3 months. The support changes dramatically when you take this poll, when the survey takes into account duration of conflict.
Look at how the numbers tilt toward disapproval of it overall.
They just skim past that. No, but hold on a second. Look at approval. If the conflict lasts days or weeks, 76% approval.
Massive.
Now, let's be clear. That has been the stated goal of this administration. If they don't achieve that goal, it means there's a miscalculation. And I would say that was a strategic mistake.
Fact check.
There you go. Fact check me. So a lot of people ask, where are we now? Bad. It's been bad.
Yes. Extricate yourself.
If you were to demand a verdict right now, okay, not a success.
Yeah, I'm not one of these people that are sitting here going, oh, Iran's winning, but...
No, of course not.
But it's not going great. It's not going the way we wanted it to.
It's not going the way that it needed to go for this to be considered a relevant or legitimate use of resources.
Yeah.
And like I said, I will always grant the benefit of the doubt on national security issues because I know that I do not have all of the information at hand. And we didn't have all of that information regarding the first Iran strike. But if you were to ask me nope, hey, bad. It's gone badly. People saying, well, the people saying that this was a betrayal, the people that were saying that this was a never-ending war and that it's only for Israel. No. Two things can be true. Those can be false premises. And I stand by my statement that if this goes longer than 2 months, especially if the communication is not clear, it's going to be immensely unpopular. And once you get past that 3 month mark, it seems like this may be a never-ending low kind of middle grade conflict, and that's not good for the United States. It hasn't benefited the United States in any way. It doesn't mean that Iran was not any kind of a threat, but there needs to be a beginning, middle, and end and an exit strategy, and nobody actually knows what it is. This administration has screwed this up. And they may have screwed the Republican Party, the conservative movement, beyond repair in the next election cycle or two in the process. That is the truth. That is the truth, and I readily admit it.
This really was the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of the coalition that he brought together. A lot of people were mad about certain components. Maybe the economy wasn't going exactly like they wanted. Deportations, not enough. But still, they weren't sounding the alarm too high. The Epstein files, some people were yelling about that, but that's mostly what I'm seeing on X. I'm not seeing it in a lot of news coverage or anything like that. But the Iran war, was something where they're like, that's it, I'm done, I'm out because of what he's doing. Because all we see as the American people right now is cost with no benefit. And an administration saying, we're close to a deal, they're dying for a deal, they want a deal, we've got a deal. They've basically set Israel up. Even if Israel had zero, and this isn't the case, but even if they had zero to do with the deal not being reached, they set them up to look like they had everything to do with the deal not being reached. It's like, if you're trying to set Israel up, this is the very best way to do it. Now, trust me, Israel probably had a hell of a lot to do with why we don't have a deal, but there's no clear exit strategy and not even a win, but there's no clear we're just going to be done.
No, and the worst part is that they keep trying to trick us,
Yeah.
Oh, it's days away, weeks away.
Their economy's on the brink.
It's like that guy who owes you money.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it to you. I'm with interest. Dude, I don't need interest. Just get it back. I will next week. I got a big paycheck coming. I'm playing the lottery on Tuesday.
I've got a parlay on the Lions.
Yeah, exactly. I got an inside tip on a horse race. Like, what?
Did you just do a football reference?
Yeah, I did, just because it's Detroit and I know how awful they are.
It's the only one you know.
They're getting better.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to turn it into Kell-El's bachelor pad, or you kind of have to be pretty conciliatory. That's how it seems right now. Because the other thing is, it would be one situation if, let's say, oil prices were high, but there was a very clear threat eliminated. The problem is, like you said, Iran is set up, the regime is set up so that it's a game of whack-a-mole.
Yes, on
and
purpose.
It seems like the threat, if people even accept the premise that there was a threat. And I believe that Iran is a consistent threat, by the way, to the stability of the world, period, because these people love nothing more than to wipe us off the map, and as well as Israel.
Even if not, just having a nuclear bomb would make the Strait of Hormuz
it would be a huge
way
problem.
worse than what we are seeing right now.
Absolutely. It would be a huge problem. I don't know that we're any closer to having neutered them, because it seems like it's like an anthill, and they just build it right back up. So this administration they can't do the Biden thing and just go like, no, it's going great, and ignore it.
And that's what they do.
You need to answer for this. And like I said, give it 3 months. Well, okay, those 3 months are up, and it's only gotten worse. And I will say this, you have people where this administration could do no right. That includes people on the left, and that includes people on the Marxist right, who would say, well, there aren't enough deportations. Well, 97% or 98% reduction in border crossings isn't enough. Well, 87% reduction in new H-1B applications isn't enough. Right? Those people who would condemn them for no matter what. Then you have some people who would praise Donald Trump no matter what at any point. But I definitely see those people who voted for this administration who are going, you know what? Hey, let's see what happens with Iran. I see those people going, swing and a miss.
Yeah.
That's, in my experience, most of the folks in the United States of America right now. And if you believe they're wrong, so you have people like Ben Shapiro, or people out there who would be seen as more so war hawks, who would say they're wrong, then you need to make the case. Not just they don't understand it. Well, they understand the gas prices. And they understand war was won, but it's still going on.
Yeah.
Those people need to hear a case. I do too.
Yeah, everybody needs to hear a case. And also, I just want you to look at his comments, because in a normal situation, the comment that he made, I'm not in a rush, basically, is what he's saying, to get out of there. That's exactly what you say when you're negotiating with somebody. You don't say, I need to be out next week, but hey, let's go to the table and get a good deal for the United States, because they know they have time pressure on you.
Right.
But he's at such a point now with what he has said and this administration has communicated about this war that nobody wants to hear, I don't have a timetable. I'm not in a rush. Everybody wants to hear this is going to be over soon.
Yeah.
He has boxed himself in, not just with the Iranians, but with the American people. That was a really horrible move.
A part of me thinks, you tell me if you think this is maybe a correct read. President Trump was absolutely a bat out of hell after 2020. And after they impeached him, and after they tried to render him ineligible, after they tried to put him in jail and destroy his life, like a banana republic, and after people tried to assassinate him, he was just, you know what? I am going to be president. I am going to prove these people wrong. And you know what? I am going to show them that we are going to have deportations. We are going to secure this border. I am going to show everyone that this is not racist, that it doesn't make me a white supremacist, and that it will be supported by most Americans. That was his mission, right? Okay, get back into that office. You can't keep me down. Boom, let me put this in your face. And then maybe kind of, it's sort of like a champion without purpose at a certain point. He doesn't seem to do as well without his back against the wall when he's just sort of free to make decisions.
Yeah.
when you know what he's fighting and he knows what he's fighting, I think maybe he might just sort of be tired. And by the way, I understand that too. This is not just a two-term president. We even saw with Reagan, his second term, the guy didn't have the same juice in him. This is a guy who ran 3 times. I mean, more if you want to count the primaries before that. And he has been under the gun. And, maybe it's that simple. I have no idea. Still the most effective president of my lifetime, but this has been a big misstep. Hey, if you're still watching this, you may be one of the 6 million or so subscribers on YouTube who is, for one reason or another, I don't understand it, still here. So back in the day, I would say click one of these videos and subscribe, but really just head on over to my channel on Rumble. Follow me there. I'm live 5 days a week, 11 a.m. Eastern, and I actually say the things that I mean to say. On YouTube, it's everyone here is kind of neutered, really. And there's just a general lack of testicular energy, but I mean that in the heterosexual way. Mostly.